This time, 9 years have passed, friends. Summer 1914. Gradual changes in Grover's Corners. Horses are getting rarer. Farmers are coming to town in Fords. Everybody's locking their doors at nights now, but there haven't been any burglars in town, but everybody's heard about them. Now, this is certainly an important part of Grover's Corners. It's on a hilltop, a windy hilltop. Lots of sky and lots of clouds, often lots of sun and moon and stars. You come up here on a fine day, and you can see range upon range of hills. Awful blue they are. Up there near Lake Sunapee and Lake Winnipesaukee. And there, way up there, if you've got a glass, you can see the White Mountains and Mount Washington. Up where Conway is, and then North Conway. And of course our favorite mountain here, Mount Menandat, and all the towns that lie around her, Jaffrey and East Jaffrey and Petersboro and Dublin. And there, quite a ways down, is Grover's Corners. Yes, it's a beautiful spot up here. Lots of mountain laurels and lilacs. I often wonder why people would want to be buried in Woodlawn or Brooklyn when they might spend the same time up here in New Hampshire. Now, way back here are the Old Stones. 1670, 1680. Strong-minded people that came a long way to be independent. Now, summertime, people walk around here laughing at the funny words on the tombstones. It doesn't do any harm. And genealogists come up from Boston, get paid by city people to look up their ancestors. They want to know that they're daughters of the American Revolution and of the Mayflower. Well, I guess that doesn't do any harm either. Wherever you come into contact with the human race, there's layers and layers of nonsense. Now, over here are some Civil War veterans. Iron flags on their graves. New Hampshire boys. They had a notion that the Union ought to be kept together, though they had never seen more than 50 miles of themselves. All they knew was the name, friends. The United States of America. The United States of America. And they went and died about it. Now, over here is a new section of our cemetery, and oh, well, there's your friend, Mrs. Gibbs. And let me see. There's Mr. Stimson, the organist of the Congregational Church. Oh, and Mrs. Soames, who enjoyed the wedding so. You remember. Oh, but there are plenty of others. Let's see. There's Mr. Webb's boy Wallace, whose appendix burst while he was on a Boy Scout trip to Crawford's Notch. Yes, an awful lot of sorrow has sort of quieted down up here. People just wild with grief have brought their relatives up this mountain. We all know how it is. And then time, and sunny days, and rainy days, and snow. We're all glad they're in a beautiful place. We'll be coming up here ourselves once our stint's over. Now, there are some things that we all know, but we don't like to take them out very often and look at them. Now, we all know that something is eternal. And it isn't houses, and it isn't names, and it isn't earth, and it isn't even the stars. We all know deep in our bones that something is eternal, and that something has to do with human beings. All the greatest people that ever lived have been trying to tell us that for 5,000 years. Yet you'd be surprised how we're all losing hold of it. There's something deep down that's eternal about every human being. Now, we all know that the dead don't stay interested in us living for very long. Gradually, they lose their hold on the earth, and the ambitions that they had, and the pleasures that they had, and the things that they suffered, and the people that they loved. They get weaned away from the earth. That's the way I put it. Weaned away. And they stay here, while the earthly part of them burns away, burns out. And in all that time, they slowly become indifferent to what's going on in Grover's Corners. They're waiting. They're waiting for something that they know is coming. Something important and great. Aren't they waiting for the eternal part in them to come out clear? Now, Some things that they're going to say may hurt your feelings. But that's the way it is. Mother and daughter, husband and wife, enemy and enemy, money and miser. All those terribly important things go kind of pale around here. And what's left? When memory's gone. And your identity, Mrs. Smith. Well, here are some living people. There's Joe Stoddard, our undertaker, supervising a newly made grave. And there's a Grover's Corners native who left town to go out west.
Good afternoon, Joe Stoddard.
Good afternoon. Let me see, do I know you?
I'm Samantha Craig.
Gracious sakes alive, of all people. I should have known you'd be back for the funeral, Samantha. You've been away a long time.
Yes, I've been gone for over 12 years.
I'm in business out in Buffalo now, but I was back in the East when I got news of my cousin's death, so I moved some things around a little so that I could come back and see the old home. You look well.
Yes, can't complain. Very sad, our journey today.
Yes.
I always say I hate to supervise when a young one is taken. They should be here in a few minutes. I had to come early. My son's supervising up at the home.
This is old Farmer McCarty. I used to milk cows for him before school. He had the lumbago.
Yes, we brought Farmer McCarty here a number of years ago.
Why, this is my Aunt Julia. I'd forgotten that she, of course.
Yes, Doc Gibbs lost his wife 3 years ago, about this time. Today, another pretty sad blow for him, too.
That's my sister Carrie's daughter, Samantha Craig.
I'm always uncomfortable when they're around.
Simon.
Do they choose their own verses much, Joe?
No, mostly it's brief and pick a verse.
It doesn't sound like Aunt Julia. There aren't many of those Hersey sisters left now, you know. Let's see, I was hoping to find my mother and father.
Over there with the Craigs, Avenue F.
He was the organist at the church, wasn't he? He drank a lot, we used to say.
Nobody was supposed to know. He'd seen a pet in trouble. Took his own life, you know.
Did he?
Hung himself in the attic. They tried to keep it quiet, but of course, it got around. He wrote his own epitaph. You can see it there.
Why, it's just some notes of music. What is it?
Oh, I wouldn't know. It was wrote up in the Boston papers at the time.
Joe, what did she die of?
Who?
My cousin.
Who, didn't you know? Had some trouble bringing a baby into the world. Was her second. She has a little boy, about 4 years old.
Grave will be right here.
Yes, there isn't much more room here among the Gibbses. So we're opening up a whole new Gibbs area over there. I see they're coming. You'll excuse me?
Who is it, Julia? My daughter-in-law, Emily Webb. Well, I declare, the road up here must have been awful muddy. What did she die of, Julia? In childbirth. Childbirth. And I almost forgotten about that. My, wasn't life awful? And wonderful?
Wonderful. Was it?
Simon, now remember. I remember Emily's wedding. Wasn't it a lovely wedding? And I remember her reciting the class poem at graduation exercises. Emily was one of the brightest girls ever graduated high school. And her principal Wilde could say so time after time. I called on them at the new farm just before I died. Perfectly beautiful farm. Yep, right smart farm. This is the road we used to live on.
like that hymn. I was hoping that you would hymn.
Hello. Hello, Emily.
Hello, Mother Gibbs. Hello, Mother Gibbs.
Emily.
Hello. It's raining.
Yes, they'll be done soon. Just rest yourselves.
I feel as though I knew them last 1,000. Papa remembered that was my favorite hymn. I wish I had been here a longer time. I don't like being new here. How do you do, Mr. Stinson?
How do you do, Emily?
Mother Gibbs, George and I have turned that farm into just about the best place you ever saw. We thought about you all the time, and we wanted to show you the new barn and this great long cement drinking fountain we bought for the stock out of the money you left us.
I did?
Yes, Mother Gibbs, don't you remember? Why, it was just over $350.
Oh, yes. Yes, Emily.
Well, there's a patent device on the drinking fountain, so it never overflows, and it never goes above a certain mark they have there. It's just fine. It really won't be the same to George without me, but it's a lovely farm. Mother Gibbs, live people don't understand, do they?
No, dear, not very much.
They're all just shut up in little boxes. I feel as though I knew them last 1,000 years ago. My boy is spending the day at Mrs. Warren's house today. Oh, Mr. Warren, my boy is spending the day at your house.
Is he?
Yes, he just loves it there. Mother Gibbs, we have a Ford too, and it never gives us any trouble. I don't drive though. Mother Gibbs, when does this feeling go away of being one of them? How long does it?
Yeah, just be patient.
I know. They're finished. They're going. Oh, Mother Gibbs, look. Father Gibbs is bringing you some of my flowers. Oh, he looks just like George, doesn't he? I never realized before how troubled and in the dark live persons are. Oh, look at him. I loved him so. From morning till night, that's all they are. They're just trouble.
A little cooler than it was. Yes, that rain has cooled it off a little. Those northeast winds always do the same thing, don't they? If it isn't a rain, it's a 3-day blow.
Mother Gibbs, one can go back there. One can go back into the living. I feel it. I know it. Why, just then I was thinking about the farm, and for a minute, I was there. And my baby was on my lap, as plain as day.
Yes, of course you can.
I can go back, live all those days over again. Oh, why not?
All I can say is, Emily, oh,
But it's true, isn't it? I can go back and live.
Many have tried, but they soon come back here.
don't do it, Emily.
Emily, don't. It isn't what you think it'd be.
But I won't live over a sad day. I'll choose a happy one. I'll choose the first day I knew I loved George. Why should that be painful?
You not only live it, but you watch yourself living it.
Yes.
And as you watch, you see the thing that they, down there, never know. You see the future. You know what will happen after.
But is that painful? Why?
It's not the only reason why you shouldn't do it, Emily. When you've been here longer, you'll see that our life here is to forget all that and to think only of
what's ahead, and to be ready for what's ahead. When you've been here longer, you'll understand.
Mother Gibbs, how can I ever forget that life? It's all I know, and it's all I had.
Emily, it isn't wise. Really, it isn't.
But it's something I must know for myself. I'll choose a happy day anyways.
No. At least choose an unimportant day. Choose the least important day of your life. It will be important enough.
So, it can't be since I was married. Or since the baby was born. I can choose a birthday, can't I? I choose my 12th birthday.
All right. February 18th, 1899. A Tuesday. Would you like any special time of the day?
Oh, I want the whole day.
All right. We'll begin at dawn. It had been snowing for several days, but it had ceased the night before, and they began clearing the roads. The sun's coming up.
Oh, there's Main Street. Oh, and there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore before he changed it. Oh, and there's the livery stable.
Yes, it's 1899. This is 14 years ago.
Oh, that's the town I knew as a little girl. Oh, and here's the white fence that surrounded our house. I'd forgotten that. Oh, I just love it. Are they inside?
Yes, your mother will be down to make breakfast any moment.
Will she?
And you remember your father had been away for several days, but he had come back on the early morning train.
No.
He'd gone back to his college to make a speech in Western New York, at Clinton.
Oh, and there's Howie Newsome. Oh, and there's our policeman. Oh, but he's dead. He died.
Idiot, Bessie. Morning, Bill.
Morning, Howie.
You're sure up early.
Oh, been rescuing a party down there near froze to death, near Owens town there. Got drunk and lay down in the snowdrift. Thought he was in bed when I shook him.
And there's Joe Crowell.
Morning, Mr. Wood. Morning, Howie.
Children! Emily, Wally, it's time to get up!
Oh, Mama. How young Mama looks. I didn't know she was ever that young.
You can come and get dressed by the fire, but you need to hurry. Oh, good morning, Mr. Newsome. Oh, it's cold.
10 below up at my barn.
Think of it. Keep yourself wrapped up.
Mama, I can't find my blue hair ribbon anywhere.
Oh, open your eyes, that's all. I laid it out special for you on the dresser. If it was a snake, it would have bit you.
Yes.
Morning, Bill.
Morning, Mr. Webb. You're up early.
Oh, I've been back to my college in New York State. Had any trouble here?
Oh, not much. Just rescued a guy who down there froze to death.
We'll have to get that in the paper.
No, it wasn't much.
Good day, Bill.
Papa.
Hello, Mother.
Oh, Charles. Oh, so worried. Oh, how was it?
Well, I told him a few things here and there. Everything all right here?
Yes, can't think of anything special that's happened. It's been right cold here.
Right.
Howie Newsome said it was 10 degrees below out by his barn.
Well, it's colder than that up at Hamilton College. It's so cold that the students' ears are falling off. It's just not Christian. Any mistakes in the paper?
None that I noticed. Coffee's ready when you want it. Charles,
Yes?
did you remember it's Emily's birthday? And did you get her something?
I've got something right here. Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Charles, don't interrupt her. She's slow enough as it is. Oh, children, you're going to be late. Come on
fair. They're just so young and beautiful. Why did they ever have to get old? Oh, Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all. Everything. I can't look at everything hard enough. Can I go in?
Yes.
Good morning, Mama.
Oh, good morning. There's my birthday girl. Many happy returns. There's some presents for you on the table.
Oh, Mama, you shouldn't have.
Well, the yellow one on the table is from your Aunt Carrie, and the postcard album, I bet you can guess who it's from. George Gibbs. He came over right early this morning in the cold. It was so nice of him.
Oh, George. I'd forgotten that.
But birthday or no breakfast, birthday, eat your breakfast good and slow. I want my girl to grow up to be a nice, healthy girl.
Oh, Mama, won't you just look at me as though you really saw me? Oh, Mama, 14 years have gone by and I'm dead. Oh, you're a grandmother, Mama, and I married George Gibbs. Wally's dead too. His appendix burst on a camping trip to North Conway. Don't you remember? We felt just terrible about it. But now we're all here together and we're happy, so let's just look at one another.
And that red present on the table, I was looking through your grandmother's things and I found something. Oh, I think you'll enjoy it now. You're old enough.
And this is from you. Oh, Mama, it's beautiful. It's just what I wanted.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Your Aunt Nora searched all over Concord for it, and I had to send all the way to Boston. Wally made something for you, too, a manual training class. And your father has something, but I don't know what it is. Oh, shh, here he comes.
Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Oh, I can't go on. It all goes so fast, and we don't have time to look at one another. I never realized all that was going on, and we never noticed. Just take me back up the hill to my grave. But first, wait, just one more look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Goodbye, Mama and Papa. Oh, goodbye to clocks ticking and Mama's sunflowers and food and coffee and sleeping and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're just too wonderful for anyone to realize you. Do any human beings ever realize life while they live it? Every minute?
No. The saints and the poets, maybe. They do some.
I'm ready to go back.
Were you happy?
No, Mother Gibbs, you were right. That's all live people are. They're just blind.
Emily's starting to clear up. The stars are coming out.
Oh, Mr. Stimson, I should have listened to them.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Now you know. That's what it was to be alive. To move about in a cloud of ignorance. To go up and down, trampling on the feelings of those and those about you. To spend or waste time as though you had a million years. To be forever at the mercy of that one self-centered passion or another. Well, now you know. That's the happy existence you wanted to go back to. Ignorance and blindness.
Simon Stimson, that ain't the whole truth, and you know it. Look at that star, Emily. I forgot its name.
My boy Joel was a sailor. He knew them all. He'd sit on his stoop of a night and tell you the name of every last one of them. Yes, sir. Wonderful.
Star's mighty good company.
Here comes another one again.
That's funny. Tain't no time for one of them to be here. Goodness sakes.
Mother Gibbs, it's George.
Dear, just rest yourself.
It's George.
My boy Joel, who knew the stars, used to say it took millions of years for that speck of light to come down here to Earth. Seems like nobody could believe it. But that's what he used to say. Millions of years.
Goodness, that ain't no way to behave.
He ought to be home.
Mother Gibbs,
Yes, Emily.
they don't understand, do they?
No, dear, they don't understand.
Almost everyone's asleep in Grover's Corners. There are a few lights on in town. Over at the train depot where Shorty Hawkins just watched the train to Albany go by. And over at the livery stable where someone's staying up late and talking. Yes, the sky's clearing up. There are the stars doing their old crisscross journeys in the sky. You know, scholars haven't settled the matter yet, but they seem to think that there's no intelligent life out there. Just chalk or fire. Only this one, straining away every day to make something of itself. The strain is so bad that every 16 hours, everybody has to lie down and get a rest. 11 o'clock in Grover's Corners. You all go and get a good rest too. Good night.
And I dropped the bean on Lynn's note. She said,